Hey guys, welcome back to another Sunday night show. I want to talk a little bit about the S&P 500. We had a huge breakdown with the S&P going below 4,300. It was around 4,260 for some time. And then it managed to rally back. So the S&P corrected and then it's rallying back. It's above 4,400 right now. And a very key indicator that I was looking at during the breakdown, which allowed me to short the overall market in whole, was the S&P number around 4,500. This is a very key number, 45 to 4506. If we break above that relatively convincingly, I think we're in pretty good shape. And I use the term relatively convincingly because the market is super volatile right now. It seems like the market, there were several days last week where we started up 40, 50 points, and then by the end of the day we were down. And then kind of the opposite happening, where we were down a lot and then somehow we ended the day up. So it's super volatile. So it's got to break above that convincingly and kind of stay there for a day or two. And then maybe some of this rout that we've been experiencing will come to an end. Full disclosure, there's a lot of things on my watch list, but I think my primary focus is going to be on S&P futures, as when volatility is this high, it's a great trading market to be trading and scalping futures. So I just wanted to point that out. And the reason I mentioned that, I know not everyone's trading futures. You can trade SPY, QQQ, and their leverage counterparts. But the main reason is this is going to affect the overall market. So no analysis on an individual stock or anything like that is going to help you when the entire market is in selling mode. So just keep that in mind. I think there's a possibility we move past that, maybe even this week, because we have the first of the month coming up in February. Markets are usually up on the 1st, sometimes even going into the 1st, tomorrow being the 31st. We could see a lot of buying happening at the end of the day as major funds are buying to position themselves for the upcoming month. So let's keep all this in mind and place bets accordingly. Personally, I don't know if the Fed based volatility is done yet, or if we're going to see, I don't think we're going to see all-time highs or anything like that. I think the market is now trying to price in some nerves with the Federal Reserve moves. And you're going to have a lot more volatility. What I suggest for a lot of people who don't have cash on hand, raise some cash. We might have a good rally on the 1st for you guys to do so, and take advantage of actually trading the market rather than placing bets on the market, because this added volatility is very good for that. Anyway, I want to go into some things that I'm watching. We talked about earnings last week. Earnings did not seem to help the market that much with Microsoft's earnings earlier in the week. We saw Microsoft actually reported good numbers. The market did sell Microsoft. Microsoft's off. It was $340 a few months ago. It's $308 right now. And I'm not really sure which way the market's gonna take Microsoft. It had a bounce on Friday. We're gonna see if the market holds here. This is a very key level with the overall S&P and with Microsoft stock. The next thing I want to talk about is Netflix. Netflix had a huge sell-off. I actually bought a little bit of Netflix around 370. It's had an enormous sell-off, you guys. It was at like 600 a few months ago. It's trading like a NIO-based sell-off. So Netflix has been relatively stagnant compared to the rest of the things. But I think I'm going to be buying a little bit of this dip here. Watch the overall market. Obviously, the market can continue to drift Netflix lower. Netflix has a lot of competition now, Disney streaming and all this other stuff. But a lot of loss on Netflix. I am willing to take a little bit of a gamble here, hopefully. Apple had blowout numbers. It rallied super hard on Friday, probably saved the market. So we saw good earnings lead to a really good result in Apple stock, as well as helping the overall market, in my opinion. So I think I'm gonna still be watching all three of these tickers: Netflix, Apple, and Microsoft. On top of that, the two other things I want to bring up is NIO. NIO has had a huge bleed out It was at $19 a share, and I picked up some NIO. I shouldn't say this, but I picked up some Palantir at $12 a share. Quite a bit of Palantir at $12 a share. And the last thing I want to mention is AMD. I'm going to talk a little bit more about AMD, but AMD stock has corrected a lot from 140. I really wish this was still an investment of mine and not a trade, because I sold out of most of my AMD investment around $36 a share, thinking, you know, oh, what a great trade. I was accumulating from $2 to $11, selling it out at 36, but look at AMD now. So it's been mostly a trade for me ever since 36, and AMD is at 140. It's corrected a lot from was at 140, sorry. It's corrected a lot from there, and I think it's worth taking a stab at prior to earnings. But we'll see. We'll see how the market holds up on Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday being the earnings for AMD, which gets us right into earnings next week. On Tuesday, we have AMD. This is actually one of the bigger ones that I watch every single earnings season. AMD is a great action name, and it has competition now because Intel's opening up a major chip manufacturing company here in the US, in Ohio. This could affect AMD stock in the short run. Let's see what happens here. It's already off by $40, I believe, from its all-time high. The other ones I'm watching for the day, I think PayPal is good to watch. It might not be the best earnings trade though, but I'm watching that. Starbucks is another good one to watch, might not be the best earnings trade. And then Google is another one I'm watching, GOOG, as well as BABA. I think, honestly, the two more volatile earnings trades are gonna be AMD and BABA, and followed by Google for Tuesday. So those are what I'm watching on Tuesday. AMD and BABA especially. I think, although it's not like a market bellwether the way Google is, they're going to be probably the better trades. With my main, and when you look at a stock like Google, you already, if you're trading S&P futures and stuff like that, so much of Google's stock price is baked in already to the S&P index. So it's important to keep that in mind if you are going to be trading futures like me or trading SPY directly with all the volatility that's going to be happening. Wednesday, we have Meta. Its ticker symbol is still FB, like as in Facebook. You know, fuck you, Mark Zuckerberg. Why you gotta name shit and confuse all these, you know, impoverished traders out there like Frugal Tiger, all right? Yeah, I'm just gonna call it Facebook. Fuck you, all right? We have AbbVie, ticker symbol AABV, Qualcomm, which is just QCOM, Boston Scientific, which is BSX, I'm watching that, and Cuervo, QRVO. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that well. I think a lot of these stocks like Cuervo has had a huge move. It's a great name, I think, but you know, it's been bleeding out a lot from like 193. It's at like 130. We're gonna see if the bleed out continues or if this is a good time to buy. Watching Cuervo as well. So yeah, I think the two big ones, I sometimes when the market is as volatile as it is right now, I skip the big names like Facebook, Google, and stuff like that, just because so much of that's already baked into the S&P. I prefer to trade S&P futures this upcoming week with the added volatility. So probably going to be watching Cuervo and Qualcomm and Boston Scientific a little bit more on Wednesday. Keep in mind, we still have a lot of stuff to watch from the day before that are still valid trades. AMD and BABA, and of course Netflix and Apple from the week before. Lastly, on Thursday, I am watching, you know, Amazon. I kind of feel the same way as Google and Facebook, but Amazon's earnings are on Thursday if you guys like trading that. We have Ford on Thursday as well. Ford has had a bit of a run up. I secured myself 1,000 shares a while back, and I was getting really pissed off about the movement on Ford. It was like $14 a share, but I'm kind of glad I did. I mean, I made $5 grand. It's better than nothing, but like, you guys know I was having trouble finding spots to put capital to work, so I bought 1,000 shares of Ford. We'll see how it does. And then we have actually two of the better trading names on Thursday with Pinterest and Snapchat on Thursday earnings. Now, there's a couple of other ones if you guys want to trade them, Honeywell or Eli Lilly, but my suggestion, Honeywell is HON and Lilly is LLY, is maybe even trade the overall market or, you know, some of the names from earlier on in the week, AMD, BABA, Qualcomm, you know, Cuervo, even Netflix from the week before might still be very valid trades. So watch all this. I want to keep the video short right now and moving along in relatively rapid speed. Remember S&P 4500, watch that. The market could actually turn a little bit bullish with pricing in the Fed news. Or, you know, we could crack below 4,300 again. If we break below 4,300 again and we don't hold the 4,260 level, we could go lower, you guys, quite a bit lower. So S&P seems like it had its post-correction bounce. We don't know what direction is going to happen. Usually when the market corrects, you're going to get a slight bounce. That's an opportunity for some people who've changed direction, who are now bearish, to get out on the bounce and potentially short it. We're going to see. I take everything day by day. If I ever short the market, you guys, I never have. My new rule, especially since the 2020 debacle that I put myself in, is I never am convincingly short. I'll short the market, but really let the tape be my guide. If it ever rallies, I just take it off. And that's just my mentality with holding short positions going forward. Anyway, that's it for me this week. I wish you guys good luck. A lot going on. Remember, just stay focused. And maybe even going with smaller size than normal, because the variance and the volatility alone should allow you to make profit while putting up less risk if you're comfortable that way. That's it for me. Best of luck. Talk to you all soon. Thanks for watching.
I just want the money.